Well, hello there, everyone. So there's nothing more than we love more than sharing and hearing stories of our members who's decided to take a chance on themselves. So we all know that taking a leap can be really scary, and self-doubt, something like no studio space, COVID, lack of funds, and all of those things can play a role in it until you finally just go for it. So today, be ready to get inspired because we've got a member, Heleen, with me. I've got her here with me in the studio. She's waiting in a waiting room, and when you finally look back, I mean, Heleen started her club 2.5 years ago, and looking at back at where she started and what she's achieved, and the same with you. When you look back at what you've achieved, sometimes you're just blown away with it. So that's exactly what Heleen did, and I'm very excited to share his story with you here today. Let me know who's watching. I can see some eyes are popping up now. So Heleen was a pastor for 11 years, and then she decided to start her home-based kids crafting business, but she's going to tell you all about it. She works with her three daughters, one specifically, Cheryl Dean, and I'm going to try and encourage her to pop in her face today as well. But enough of me talking. Let's bring Heleen on. Heleen, it's absolutely amazing having you here today. Thank you so much for joining us live. Um, how are you doing?
Hello, Christelle. Well, thank you, first of all, for the wonderful opportunity. I'm so thrilled and excited. And I've been doing well, very tired at the moment. We've been working very hard, but really excited. That kind of tired is the one you want to have. So, yeah, I'm good. I'm well. Thank you for being here or letting me be here, though.
Ilian, I mean, just tell us a little bit what you've been up to this week, because I believe you've been really busy.
Yeah. Yes. Well, the past week was quite a busy week. We had one of our private primary schools contact us and asking us for, I don't know exactly what you call it, how you will pronounce it in English, but in Afrikaans we call it the instappie. So they can't go out for their natural or the usual picnics or whatever. So they asked us to come to the school and to bring Canvas Club to them and give to three of the grades. It's about 154 children to present classes to them. And I must tell you, it's back to back. We've done the first grade the past week. We were supposed to do them this week, but then the teacher asked me if we could maybe pop in on Friday. Now, the predicament for last Friday was that we already had a paint and wine scheduled for the evening as a fundraiser for one of the local charities for 70 ladies.
Let me show
So,
everybody this photo. So this was the fundraiser that Helian's talking about. 70 ladies. Let's just quickly pause
70.
and just say that's amazing. And 110 children. Did I hear right?
154 in total.
Oh my word, 154 in total. Okay, Helian.
And that's apart from our studio kids. So we have about 25 studio kids coming in the afternoon, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So for Friday, we had 58 kids in the morning and then 70 ladies at night. So needless to say, I slept through the whole weekend. I was so tired, but
Helian,
extremely happy though.
that's absolutely amazing. Wow, that is, I mean, I didn't realize those big numbers. That's fantastic. For those watching and starting out, Helian, if you can maybe share a bit of your journey as well. I mean, Helian's now in the Thrive stage. She's in stage 5 for those who watched the trainings. I mean, she's added so many different revenue streams to her business, and we're going to chat about her kits. We're going to chat about her online classes. We're going to chat about her workshops and all of that. But Hillian started from the beginning, humble beginnings. And so, Hillian, tell us a bit about that, and tell us what was your biggest challenge prior to opening your club.
Yeah, it feels like so long ago, but actually, yeah, in 2019, we started on the 1st of April 2019. I think it's great. Yes. I need my daughter to just confirm. My partner, she's sitting there next to me, just helping me, showing me yes or no. yeah, before that, like you said, I was a pastor. Well, I don't think you ever retire from that, but I just said, um, I must change my focus. I was reaching a flat stage where I just thought, no, I don't feel happy and encouraged, and I need to feel encouraged. And then I was in a really bad space mentally, and just praying about getting something that I can go to and come back home. Now, being a pastor's got its own challenges, but yeah, um, so my mom-in-law, I must give credit to my mom-in-law. She's been really an inspiration in my life. Most people would say, oh, they dread their mom-in-laws, but I can't say the same. And we have our differences, but we quickly settle it, and she's like my mom. So I love her to bits. And then she phoned me one day and said she needs to show me something, and I said, oh, Ma, the typical, yeah, Ma. And I went there one day feeling in this bad stage, but prior to going there, I just had one of those bad moments where I thought, "Oh, Ania, I'm going nowhere." And then she actually took me and sat me down on the chair and said, "Now you look at this." And she started to play this, and it was Canvas Club, being on one of the local or on television, one of the um, channels, Afrikaans channels, and I saw you guys. And I said, wow, this looks amazing, all this creative stuff. And she turned to me and she said, Heleen, you know what? You are so good in this. This will be a sin if you don't do this. I said, yeah, Mama, no, but finances and so forth. She said, don't you worry about that. I'm going to help you get started. So I was in the privileged position of having someone saying to me, I'm going to invest in you because I believe you can do this. And she helped me get started up. But then, you get started up, and from there on, you have to go on your own. You have to be sure to get money in and so forth. And actually, I was supposed to start in May, and I had a lady phoning me, a teacher from a school. I don't know how she heard about this. And she said, listen, I see you're going to start up Canvas Club. Can we come? I said, oh, no, I haven't even got stock yet. Wait, she said. And she kept on pushing me and pushing me. And I said, okay, let me go sit down and think what I can do with what I have. And then luckily 2 days before they came, we got our stock. And the 1st of April, we started out with a full class. I think we were 10 or 12 kids. My first time ever. Oh my word, I wanted to run away because I was so overwhelmed. Chatting to people is naturally to me, but working with these kids and having the mommies present, looking what you're going to do, and now it's teachers. It was so intimidating because how are you going to teach these kids something different than what they are teaching them? And I just went with it. I enjoyed myself. I was full of paint. And at the end, that lady, they walked out and they said to me, can we please book a play date? I thought, oh my word. So from there on, it just spiraled, and we had a big open day. I used to joke about this and say I wanted to crawl out of the studio that day because I couldn't walk. We had over 40 kids coming in. So yeah, it's been a journey, by many ups and downs, lots of challenges, but I'm very thankful that I kept a straight head through all of that. COVID's been hectic to everyone, but I think we're going to chat about that in a little bit. So yeah, just getting started up. I had a bit of help, but now I'm totally on my own and just going strong.
Heleen, I've got some of your first studio photos here as well. So, Heleen converted, is it a room in your mother-in-law's house, or?
Yeah, she had like a bachelor's flat that was empty, and that was another one of my challenges. I said I had no space to go. She said, no, no, you've got space. And she even went as far as to break down a wall that was up in the studio. And I had this idea with these stripes. I wanted these stripes. And
So
my husband
beautiful.
said to me, you are crazy. I said, look at this. And I chased all of them out, and I sat down and I took a ruler and a pencil and I measured each and every stripe in that studio, and I painted it. And afterwards, everyone came in and said, yo, I said, I told you so. So it was hard work, but I'm so, so proud of that studio. A lot of effort and hard work it went in there, but we got so many compliments.
Heleen, it's absolutely amazing. And here's a photo of your daughters as well, who play a very active role in in your club. So Helene's club is called Canvas Club. She's got the same name as our club, and because she was one of the founding members in our community. And Helene's, yeah, as you can see here, there's her three wonderful daughters, and the one with the blondest hair. No, they all have blonde hair. The one right on the left hand side, Cheryl Dean, is her partner, full time in her kids crafting club business. Helene, would you mind telling us just what did you think and feel in those moments when you just started out, when you felt unsure about it and uncertain whether this was the right decision to take that leap to start your club after feeling stuck with your previous job as well? What did you feel?
Yes. Well, to be honest, you did not feel encouraged every day. There were days that I thought to myself, I've got my two daughters working with me, and we're gonna go into studio for one child. So there were times that I thought, no, let me maybe just cancel this lesson. And I just thought, no. My dad used to taught me, if you don't respect 1 rand, you're never going to respect 10 rand. And I thought, okay, if I don't respect the one child that made the effort, the mommy made the effort to come, I'm never going to get to the 10 kids. And what about the 100 kids that I'm aiming for? So I've got the saying to myself, get up, get dressed, and put on your lipstick and arrive. You just be there. So there were days that I thought, really, no, this is not for me. And then I had my daughters just cheering me on and said, Mommy, come, let's just do this. Let's arrive there, just pitch. And then we will have this so much enthusiasm. And I remember the mommy would come in looking a bit of, are we the only ones here? I said, no, we planned it this way. You see, because you're the first one for this class, so we moved all our children so we can focus just on your child today. So maybe it was a teeny bit of a lie, but the mommy felt extra special, and you won't believe it. Since then, when the Lord just knows, whenever there's a child that's going to need a bit of extra attention, somehow that mom just lands up coming all by herself with her child, and we can focus on that kid, get him out from under the table, because that's another challenge, and get them engaged. So it wasn't easy. It was difficult as well. But when a kid runs to you the second time you have a class and they grab you around the legs and say, Tannie Leon, you just feel, thank you. I think that was one of the biggest things. I wanted kids to recognize me in town. I wanted them to run up to me, even if they have dirty hands, I don't mind. Just run up to me and say, hello, Tannie Leon, this is my art teacher. And it's happened. Wherever we go, even in a restaurant, the parents can't stop the kids, and I don't mind. So apart from the challenges, that's been real rewards as well. Having those kids come back and back. We've got kids that's with us today. They've advanced to the next level, but they've been with us since the beginning. And you become like a family. When someone has to move away, we cry, and we celebrate also big moments. This might sound improper, but you've got Henry, so you'll understand the potty training phase. Mummies will come there and they'll say, listen, we're in the potty training phase, so please, if this child needs to go, we need to go. And then I remember the one child had the first real go at our studio, and it was a big celebration. Everybody clapped hands and rejoiced. So it was so amazing. I think for anyone out there, you must approach this business as with a feeling of be in it for the long run. Remember that you work with real people. You work with children that's very observant. They pick up on your mood. They pick up on tension, and they know if they are welcome or not. So even in those little things, they'll come out and shame, they'll come and tell you what they just did. So I won't repeat that. But then we'll celebrate with them. So I think it's more rewarding than the challenges. Of course, you have those, especially in COVID, but we've overcome those. We've done something else during lockdown. So
Helene, it's just amazing to see you from your humble beginnings to you and your daughters showing up for one or two kids and I mean, where you're at now, just look at this. I mean, that's incredible. And the numbers that you just named about a bit earlier as well, having full workshops of people having fun and kids attending big workshops, and also I think I've saved quite a few parties of yours as well. That being a big part of your business. Tell me a little bit about the different offerings that you have as well. So the kids and the parties and the workshops and the different venues that you present your
Oh,
classes in as
yes.
well.
My child said to me before we got onto this interview, Mommy, please listen to the questions and only answer what you're being asked. Because she knows me, I will go crazy and my head's all over the place. I'm constantly thinking of new ideas. But let's start at the different options that we have. Well, I think COVID's taught us a lot to be innovative in your thinking and to be
Mm.
creative and in the time, because we've been locked up. So what could we do? But we've decided, okay, we're going to go online. And I promise you, like we spoke earlier, Christelle, I was one of those that you will not get me in front of the camera. I'll rather do it live with kids in the studio, but going in front of a camera, something's always off. Either it's the hair or it's the makeup or whatever. So I just had to say to myself, listen, let's do this and laugh at each other. It's only me and Cheryl Dean. And if I make a mistake, show me. Let's laugh and let's start again. So we did the online classes. We are currently working from a coffee shop in town. She asked us to move our studio there. So no charge, monthly fee to pay, no rent, whatever. That's wonderful, because they've been seeing that what we do, we get the feed. And so we're working from a coffee shop. The one that we are currently at is not very child friendly if you look at parties, but it's definitely something for the moms, because it's a very nice place. That's one of the pictures of our studio. So we work upstairs. The mommies have lovely coffee while the kids do their craft. The photo that's on now is one of the birthday parties. Actually, it was for my youngest daughter when she turned 16. We had a paint and milkshake party. So that's fine to do down in the coffee shop, because then they feel very fancy and we do the whole shabam. We had non-alcoholic mimosa drinks for them and the setup, and made them feel real fancy. So that we can do. We have a big paint and wine. We try and do that every 6th week, but we've got requests from people now. Please, when's the next one? So if the need is there, we'll definitely do this once a month. But so far, we've been doing it every 6 weeks. Then we use different venues. The one that you see now is at one of our local. It's at the golf course. So our first function there, we had 60 ladies, and
Six, oh,
60.
60.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
60. That was huge. But I think what we made, the difference we had, they call it paint and sip. So of course you have your glass of wine, but you also have those ladies that does not want to drink. So we made a difference. We said, okay, we give you a token. This token allows you for a glass of wine or maybe a soft drink or a cappuccino. You can decide. And we know, I like everyone's different. We don't think the same. So we don't have one picture everybody has to paint, because we all think different. So we will have a theme for the evening. So for instance, Christmas, we'll have a printed sheet of 9 color prints and with ideas. Of course, we will have to be able to paint those ideas as well. Otherwise, we can't help. And then we will also encourage them to go on Pinterest or Google a nice picture if they want to. So that makes a difference to some of the other paint and wine functions that we see around. Past Friday, we used a different venue, also a coffee shop, but that's huge, huge. We could fit in 70 ladies comfortably in there. We had enough space to walk around, and we've built up a good relationship with the people. We pay no venue fee. And I've searched all over. There's lots of shops in town and lots of coffee shops, and some of them just said, no, there is a venue fee applicable. and then we'll say, okay, thank you very much for your time, and then we'll just look for another place. Because I feel if you take 70 feet into that restaurant, that guy's definitely going to make up the venue fee that he's going to wanted to charge you, because we only give one drink and then your meal, and of course you can't just live on the one drink for the evening. So, and lots of people order dessert. So yeah, we've sifted out which
I want to
restaurants work well.
Yeah, I want to just to highlight that, because for those who want to teach in-person classes or workshops or events or parties, I mean, what Heleen shared here is very valuable. I mean, she uses a coffee shop. I mean, this is a clubhouse, as she said, and there's another one where she doesn't pay a rental fee. I mean, isn't that just so smart? That's such a clever way of going about it. And then the coffee shop that she uses the upstairs room for. I mean, just bringing in children there on a weekly basis and not having to pay a rental fee. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, that really takes away almost all the risks. So if you are
Yes.
starting out, you could start part-time and you could find a space like this. And also, we often use restaurants, and then we tell them, what is a slow time for you? Because many restaurants, there's always a time in the day when it's really a slow time for them. So it's the ideal spot then to have in the mornings, perhaps have a toddler event or a class, or in the if it's in the afternoon after school, and like that 2 to 3 o'clock slot we found also to be quite a slow time. So having these relationships with restaurants is actually very smart. And moms, as you say, really enjoy hanging out there because they can have a coffee and a quick chat. Um, Helene, what type of crafts? I just want to quickly look at all the crafts here. So obviously you use a lot of our lesson plans as well, but share a bit about the crafts that the kids do at your club.
This, for instance, was a castle workshop that we had for the kids during school holiday. Now, because of COVID, we can't we use recyclable materials, but we have to go and buy now. We just thought that might be something extra, except for the toilet rolls or the paper towel rolls that we can use, that you can collect. But it's very difficult getting boxes now because of lots of businesses, they dispose of it in a different way. So it's difficult to collect those. But we bought those, and if you shop around again, you get a good price. The workshops went well. We did that at the coffee shop that, as I said, that's not really child friendly, meaning they can't run around and jump on stuff. But we worked our classes very well time wise. We had a 45-minute work, and then we had a break where they had lunch, and then another 45 minutes. And I promise you, after those that time elapsed, the parents came up and they started telling the kids, we need to go. And they said, no, wait, Daddy, I'm not finished yet. Just this and just that. So we listened to what they asked us. We did a castle in the past that we had there, and this one little boy, he's very polite. He said to me, Tannie Leon, when are we building a castle? And then I thought, okay, well, building a castle for that age group, it's going to take some time. We only have a small time gap. Let's do it in a workshop. And then, we did that in a workshop. I think it was 90 minutes, no, a bit longer, 2 hours, I think. But for the bigger kids, that worked well. They didn't need to run around, and they were so eager to finish those
Amazing.
castles. Yeah, that was
Amazing.
fun.
I wish I could attend one of those classes. It looks fantastic. And then like I see that top left one there, with granddad and grandson joining in, and so many of these are like mom and son, and mom and daughter and sisters. I mean, just the family collaboration as well in your photos. I find that something that really jumps out. It's just absolutely wonderful to see how they are creating together. So Hillian, just sorry, back to the question about the crafts that you do. So the
Yes.
kids creating, I mean, with the castle, something that they can go home and be proud of and play with afterwards.
Yes, definitely. And some of them still have the castle. So if we make something now, you can hear them say, this will fit nicely into the castle. And from time to time, we get photos from mommy. She sends pictures. She says, this child will not let me throw this thing away. One of the the towers came off. He said, leave it like that. Something hit the tower. It must be like that. You're not going to throw away the craft. So, and we had good feedback during lockdown last year. The one mommy, she said to us, you know what? The only stuff my child played with was the stuff she made at Canvas Club. So I said, oh, wow, thank you. That was great, great encouragement. And I think getting back to the online classes, it was a challenge, but we did that, and it was a big learning school. We asked for feedback from some of the parents. You get to know your parents, and you know who you can ask for. And what I enjoy, especially for the creative crafters, that's the older group, we thought, okay, maybe we'll just make their lesson time shorter. They're a bit more advanced. They understand the process. And then one of the aunts of the child said, no, no, please, all of us engage in this. Even the boy, we call him, his name is Cornelius, but we call him Nielsie. His aunt said to us, no, whenever you ask a question on the online recording, he'll answer you back. And that made us know, okay, even if we pre-record, we make sure we mention each child's name during the recording, ask questions, and they engage with you, even though we can't have studio time. But yeah, studio time, of course, is way better. We hear lots of stuff. We in agreement with the parents. We won't believe everything they tell you if you don't believe everything they tell you from our side. So we hear lots of funny things. I said to Sheldon, I think we must write a little book of all the funny tales and then sell it to raise some more funds for Canvas Club, because just to share one, I need to share this one. We've got a little boy. His mom is the owner of a printing company, so there's no problem financially. But he was away for quite some time because of COVID and so forth. And when he came back, he's one of those live ones, alive. And one of the coffee shop ladies, the waitresses, they brought him a milkshake, just saying, welcome back. And he was so chuffed. The next time he came around, he asked, am I going to get another free milkshake? We said, no, Seth, that was just once off. And then, yeah, he kept pushing it. And one day when she came up, he said, you know what? I'm living on the street now. I need milkshake.
Cheeky.
We had such a chuckle. I told his mom, she said, yeah, no, she doesn't know where this child comes from. But just it
Kids are
was
so
so funny.
innovative.
I couldn't stop laughing because I know, no, this child definitely, he can
Oh, that's
afford that.
funny.
But yeah, it's funny things they tell you just
That's
for
so
them to
funny. Yeah,
trust you.
kids are just amazing and so funny. I can tell you many stories as well of the things that Henry sometimes say. Yeah, it's really really great. Heleen, I see this image here, and that, I mean, family they're creating together as well. So do you do workshops? Just tell me a bit about the family workshops that you do as well.
Yes, the little girl in this picture, she's still with us today. I can't believe she was so young on that picture. She's in the Creative Crafter Club, or Creative Crafting group now. This we did for Mother's Day. I think it was for Mother's Day, for Father's Day. We had a family event. We said, okay, bring dad, mom, and kids, and everybody designs. We work on a very big piece of cardboard or otherwise a big canvas, and then you all create together. Now, the dad wasn't very chuffed with that. He came in with hands in his pockets, just stating, I'm here under protest, and the mom just said, please just come in. And I promise you, he was the one that we had to say, listen, we have to close now. You can go now. He's got 4 daughters or 3 daughters, and then, of course, his wife. And he said, okay, I'm going to mark off this section. Please don't go there. This is my section on the board. So in the end, he had such a great time. But we also started with Stonehouse workshops lately. We saw the need that in especially a family setup, we wanted to involve the dad and the mom and grandma and granddad, whoever wants to join in, and create something that everybody can get involved in. So we had about 2 workshops by now. We've got another one scheduled at the end of November, and that's been a great hit because they design, we give them the board with the measurements of the stone house and everything they need, and they build this stone house from scratch. So that's wonderful. Geraldine just brought me one. If I can maybe just show
Oh,
everybody the little
amazing.
house, and the door can open and so forth, and we put little fairy lights in there, and then it can be like a lamp on the table, or you can decorate it for Christmas, so everybody gets involved. And that's something I think more of the dads go for. That less painting, more construction work, but yeah, at least we get them to canvas club and then they participate. So
Amazing.
what's the other workshop that we, okay, the paint and wine we have, the kids workshops we have, the stonehouse workshop now. So yeah, that's so far what we've been busy with.
And then Hillian, the online and your kits that you decorate so beautifully. And I mean, Hillian, so for those watching, Hillian's obviously in stage 5 of the journey. So she's doing everything. She's doing workshops and parties and events and kits and online and in-person classes. And when you're starting out, remember just to focus on one thing, otherwise you are going to get overwhelmed. Helene did not start doing all of these things. She started with her in-person classes in her studio that we just shared a photo of. I'm going to find it again, with the beautiful striped walls. So starting off just with one focus area, and just look at those kids having fun. Helene, I just love looking at your photos. And here they are playing with bubbles, and you've got some different types of sensory materials you're using here as well. Would you mind telling us a little bit about how do you engage kids in a class? Do you have
Well,
tips for us?
just say again.
Do you have any tips for us?
Oh, um, when a mommy first phones and says she wants to bring a child, of course she's never been there, but she's heard about us and she wants to come. We'll always ask what the child's name is up front. Because I've learned, and that's one of the things I battle with. I struggle to remember names, but I've got my very clever daughter in my ear telling me this is the name, this is the name. And then as that child walks up there, we call them by their name. We'll say, "Oh, Lisa's here. Hello, Lisa." And then immediately she grabs mom's leg and afraid. And um, of course, we've got the puppets. I'll talk about that now. And we'll just tell the mommy, just leave her. Just come sit down at the table. The child climbs all over the, excuse me, parent, because we are very new to them. But because we are not new to the process, we don't mind that. And then we will just start to chat with them and ask them, did you know we have a little puppet living with us? And we've got a little board that I've painted with a hole inside. It looks as if this puppet comes through a window. And then Geraldine, yeah, there you can see Molly. Oh, Molly is the fan favorite. She stole my fame. Molly is the hit now. And Geraldine is playing the part of the puppet. She will go to the back and say, "Yo, mommy, let's see if Molly is home." And we will call Molly. And I put a chair in front of the little house. There's a little door, and I'll encourage the child to come and knock on the door so Molly can come out. Now, sometimes they're a bit scared, so I'll ask the mommy, please accompany your child. Just come stand here, and then I'll knock on the door, and mommy will, and then Molly will come out of that little hole, and that child immediately you can see a change in the atmosphere, and they will engage with Molly because they are so innocent. They still believe that's Molly living there, especially the little ones from 2 to 3. They can hardly speak, but when they come up that stairs for the second time, they call Molly. They don't even say hello, Tanny Leon. It's just Molly, and I'm so thankful because now we've got their attention, and we encourage through Molly to participate in the art. We'll say, okay, Molly, what are they making today? And Molly will tell them. And then Molly, are you going to come and say hello? She will say yes, but they must call me. And then Geraldine will, after a while, come out with Molly on her arm. And they can see Molly is on her arm, but they don't make that. or they don't differentiate between the two. And they will say to Molly, "Come sit down, Molly, look at what we did," and give Molly a pencil. So poor Molly, she's been full of paint and full of crayons, but Molly will take the little Cokie or whatever we're using that day, and she will participate with that child. So the connection of having fun, having a friend, and just having a wonderful time, they connect with Canvas Club. That's what we aim for. Is art must be something they love. Canvas Club studio must be something they long for. And even up to the children 12 years old, we don't use the hand puppet there because they'll immediately tell you, "Ah, we know it's a hand puppet." But then we do different stuff. We have like little helpers, and I always say there's a few rules in class. When Tanny Leon talks, I'm the only one talking. You have to be strict otherwise. And then there's no winners in class. If you finished first, well done. Let's give you some more work. But there's no winners because you're a winner just because you arrived today. So there's no competition, no bullying, no judging, no comparing, nothing. So, and that gives them the freedom to express themselves and to feel, oh, well, if my a bird is yellow or green or purple, it's a beautiful bird. Danielian thinks it's beautiful, and I'm not different than the rest. Because you do, especially in the older groups, you'll find that there's lots of competition, especially if they go to the same school. There's two boys. There's definitely some competition, and yeah, we will have a little strong one, and we know where to place him in between the rest, and he pulls. I want to say the crowd. You learn to recognize who the ones are that you can put where, and who's the little very busy ones you rather just put on your lap. That's the best.
Yeah, and it's so true that also, I mean, art and being creative is just, it's so different from school because, I mean, we're all taught at school to be competitive. I mean, there's a reason why you get an A because, and there's, you have to get, arrive first when you do a race and you have to, make the first hockey or netball or cricket or rugby team. I mean, there's a competition everywhere. Competition is such a big theme in school. So,
Yeah.
it's fantastic that you don't have that. They can come to your club and relax and be and unwind and be creative and innovate and learn those incredible super skills that you are teaching them. Skills that's required for the future, to future-proof kids. And
Definitely.
I think, Elian, that's just a wonderful opportunity, and it's a great. It's a fantastic. Yeah, I mean, just to be able to give that to little people is just, it's just wonderful. So Helene, here's Molly back in the day.
Yes, she's been growing a lot.
And then she turned into this very fancy Molly. And Molly, Helene was also, we commissioned Helene to assist us with our Molly in the club as well with the mascots. So at the Creative Crafting Club, if you join, then you will get the templates. You can get the templates as a bonus to create your own Molly. And there's Max as well. Helene, I mean, you've gone ahead and you've added more characters to your club as well. And I mean, isn't Molly just so cute with her ping pong eyes?
Yeah, we must just pay attention to Molly's tooth. Sometimes it goes into her mouth, and then I'll tell the kids, "Yeah, that's what happens when you have too much sweets." And then, but yeah, this was the very first Molly that we did, and this is maybe something I would love to share with everyone. You should never let the situation that you're currently in bring you down. If we had to continue with one or two kids for a very long time. Sometimes we had like, if we had 10 for the whole month, it was a bonus. We'll say, yay, 10. And then just before we celebrated our first birthday, it was lockdown. So there was no income at all. We were not allowed to go anywhere. And I just thought to myself, I'm not going back to that deep hole I was in. What can I do to bring me to do something else? And I've never in my life ever made any puppets. I said I went to a technical high school to avoid all the needlework stuff. I'm not going to do that. And here I am today making these puppets. So I had no income, no money. And my daughter came to me and she said, Mommy, I've got 150 Rand. I think if we convert that, it's how many dollars? Christelle, you can help me?
$10.
$10. This is what I have. What can we buy so you can make a puppet? And I remember how we went to this very cheap material shop and we bought a cut off piece of sponge. And one of my friends gave me material, and we went to one of the toy stores and we got a packet of 6 ping pong balls for the eyes. And also, we couldn't afford to buy a tin of glue, we had to buy a tube of glue. So you could actually just make 2 puppets. But that's all I had to start with. And from there on, as my family saw me doing this, they just gave me the money and said, okay, but I'll buy the glue. You must continue doing this. I'll buy the ping pong balls. And I asked on Facebook one day if someone maybe had, excuse me, have some of these ping pong balls. And one of my friends said, you know what? I've got these little things you take from the roll on that we use, those little balls. She
Yeah.
took them out and we cleaned them, and that's what we used for the eyes. So we didn't stop. And from there, I can just maybe show some of, we made a little Mr. Sharky. Um, so this one we haven't used. You can even make it a stuffed toy from him, but I opened him up at the bottom just to make a little puppet. And then we've got twins, of course. I just need to show the twins. I can never remember their names. Luckily, they don't keep it against me. So this is Sheldon must just give me his name again. Ollie. This is Ollie, and Ollie's got a little sister, but Ollie is a very cute little guy. It's a teddy bear. Yeah, of course, everybody can see you're a teddy bear. Yes. So, and then here is Ollie's sister. Um,
That's adorable. And you're just having so much fun along the way.
oh,
Well done.
yeah, this grows on you. They become like real characters, and yeah, they've got a very special place that we keep them at night. They just don't lie around. They are personalities. We had some scares, people walking into the house, and all these puppets standing up, and then I'm one of those. If you fall in front of me, I'll help you, but I'll do it while I'm laughing. So then I chuckled as the people saw this, but this is for the kids. So I didn't let COVID bring me down. We started with this, and we also go to schools for puppet shows, educational puppet shows. So if they have a problem, especially in the younger ages, the pre-primaries, with bullying or not sharing, we'll go with the puppets. And then our theatre is plain black, because we want children to use their imagination. If we say we're at the playground at school, what does it look like? Because every child's got a different vision of what it looks like. And of course, I'm the naughty puppet always. I love being the naughty puppet. It's just in my nature. Geraldine is the very good one. She'll always well behaved, well mannered. And then we'll have this puppet show and teach the kids. And I think one of the things that touches my heart the most is to see how this very shy little guy that just walked in will stand up and wants to share his lunch with the puppet, because he just heard that you need to share. And oh, beautiful feedback. So
Yeah. Warms
that's
your heart.
lovely.
It
Mm.
warms your heart. Heleen, what was your favorite part of your journey thus far?
I think seeing the change in children. But I think the biggest change that I've seen is in my daughter. Oh, I'm so proud of my oldest daughter. I think she must just come in and just show her face. She's very shy, but I think she must just come and show her face. She's a real introvert.
Oh,
Hello,
so
everybody.
there you go.
Nice to
I
see
will
you.
be.
She's a real introvert. She never even answers the phone. If she doesn't recognize the number, she'll just pass the phone. Geraldine has grown so much in Canvas Club. I can drop her off at a place and say, please set up. We've got so many people. This is what needs to happen. And she'll continue. At a paint and wine evening, I'll have to look where Geraldine is, because she hasn't even asked me one question. So I think the highlight of the growth in Canvas Club, apart from seeing the kids' faces and their development, would be the change in my own daughter. So the investment and what Canvas Club did for her bringing her out of that shell. If it can do that for her, definitely it did that for other kids as well. We had some kids that had some kind of depression after COVID. Believe it or not, the mommies phoned us and said they don't want to engage with their friends because they're not allowed to. They don't want to eat, they can't sleep. And I just thought, how is this possible? And when the kid came back to Canvas Club last year, October, when we were able to open up again, immediate change, immediate change. The mom phoned me and said, what did you do? I said, nothing. We just spoke and we had fun and we painted and we chatted. And it just goes to show we are social beings. We need that engagement with one another. And even, you know, how do I measure success? I measure it if I could change one child's heart, I'm successful. Um, it's not about how many kids you have in class. That's always something we work towards, yes. But if I had a class of 50 and they all go home, nah, I, you can't say you were successful. You just used your time. But if one child turns back or one child cries and says, I don't want to go home, you were successful, because that changed that child's life in that instance, maybe forever. I've got a degree in counseling, so I know from experience seeing adults, and lots of the heartache comes from being in their childhood. So we have the opportunity of investing in their childhood and laying a good foundation where you are valuable. You are good enough. Whatever you do is it's fantastic. Tannie Leon loves you, Tannie Sheldine loves you, and we cheer you on. And if that little bit can change a child's life, it's all the effort was worth it.
So true. So true. I'm getting goosebumps as you say this. Um, if anybody's got any questions, please ask away in the comments as well. Heleen, clearly this starting your own club has changed your life, and it's changed so many. The ripple effect that you speak of, I think, is just testimony to your heart and your daughter's heart and what you guys stand for. Um, I mean, it's amazing to see just the progress you've made and your daughter. And I think also the opportunity of having your kid or your kids take part in your business. I honestly believe if happy mom, happy kids, or happy dad, happy kids. And I think also that you involving your children in your club, one being full time and the others always helping out whenever there's a big event or something happening. I want to just quickly pull up that photo again of all your daughters just helping out and taking part and being proud together and being proud of you as well for what you've accomplished and have achieved in such a short time. So how has starting a club changed your life, and what has it made possible for you?
I think it changed my life. It changed my perspective of being afraid of doing things. You're always going to wonder, what if I just tried it out? Maybe I could have. We are almost 3 years or celebrating our third birthday. And looking back now, if I haven't started then, I would have missed out on these
Mm.
successful 2 years. So it's changed my outlook on everything. It's weird. Whenever we walk into somewhere, I look at stuff and think, but I can make that. I can do that. And even in myself, it's given me courage to stand up and say, let's organize an event. Let's look at what we have and what can we make with what we have. We're not going to look at the economy, and we're not going to look into what's going to happen. What can we do today to make a difference? And it keeps my mind fit, because I'm constantly thinking of new things to do and new lessons, because I think that's the biggest challenge. We've been through the manual and now we have to go back and see, okay, what can we adjust on there, maybe make it more or less or whatever. I think that's the biggest challenge for us at this stage. But then again, when we sit down and we discover something, we get excited about a toilet roll. So color, how you mix colors, stuff like that. So it's changed my outlook on everything. If I can encourage anyone that's still wondering, must I take a chance? You're never going to know. 2 years of your life is going to go by in any way. So you might do something with your 2 years or 3 years, because then looking back from 2 years from now, you're going to have, you can say, well, I've accomplished this, or you can say, no, I'm still wondering. Take the chance now. You've got nothing to lose. Actually, you have a lot to gain, because you can invest in so many lives, change lives. Um, Especially in the moms as well. We forget about the parents coming. Our teachers are under tremendous stress at school. They have to try and keep these kids apart. While they are kids, they want to engage. And the mommy one day phoned me and she said, maybe me and Mila won't make class today, but I need this. This is my therapy for the week. And I just thought, thank you, Lord, because not just for the kid or the child coming, it's good. It's even for the mom, because they get to engage with other moms. And we learn from them as well as they learn from us. So yeah, it's like having coffee with your friends 3 times a week and enjoying it. I love it. I can't see my life any other way. I can't see it any other way.
That's amazing, Heleen. Oh, and it gives me goosebumps. And I honestly feel the same way. Heleen, what other advice or tips would you give someone who's looking to start their own arts and crafts club?
I would say don't focus on you don't have the money. Because I think that's a big obstacle. If I could start out with $10, forget the fact that I had some help. I had no help creating these puppets, and today I've got a whole line of them, and they are a part of our income, because we use them to go and do puppet shows. But I had $10, 150 Rand, that's what I had. And I said, okay, what can I do with this? And I looked around at, at the house and said, okay, what is there that I can use? And just look at what you have at hand. In the beginning, I remember we used to collect empty boxes from game stores or whatever. Wherever someone's offloading somewhere, we will stop and say, please, can I have your boxes? When we have a meeting at school and everybody had their juice or their water bottles, I'll go around to collect everyone and come and sterilize them at home. So there's so many ways to get this working for you. I promise you, the reward you personally will reap from engaging in this is tremendous. You'll come back and thank me. Not because I'm good, but take this from me. If I haven't started this, I would have been flat down on the ground. I was not in a good space. And being creative brings out something special. I said to, if we have 1 Rand for every person that told us, oh, I can't even draw a stick figure, I'll be rich by now. Because they come there, especially to paint and wine, explaining themselves as they enter the door. I'm here, but just remember, I can't. I said, okay, I'm going to take your picture, especially tonight, and then I'll show you. And seeing the change in them as you show them a few little techniques and just say, okay, look at what painting and how you're continuing. We had people ask us, can I please just take this to my house and go finish? I promise I'll bring it back. They couldn't stop, and then they will buy some kits. We also made up little paint kits with a canvas and paint and everything. And of course, then you've got another source of income. People just get encouraged, and that feeds us. That feeds me as a person, seeing that I did something that gave someone hope. Um, One sad story I had one evening, a lady entering, she came a bit late, and as she was about to enter the door, she said to me, you know what, Heleen, I didn't want to come tonight. I'm at such a bad space. My brother has, his wife's been killed. He's in hospital. They don't know if he's going to make it. So I need this tonight. And I thought, wow, what a sad story. And I just invited her in, and as it should have been, she sat with ladies, and afterwards they exchanged numbers, and she's been one of our regulars. She attends every time. She said to me afterwards, I needed this tonight. I feel so good. I'm so glad I came. And like I said to you, that lady's life may be changed forever. How would I know what would have happened if she didn't come? You will never know. So don't let income or the lack of finance stop you. Look at what you have. You can even do something with a paper towel roll. Anything. Go on Pinterest. Keep yourself encouraged. Join this group. I mean, we encourage each other. I look at other stuff. I got some encouragement for my craft boxes from one of the members in this club. So yeah, please just don't think you can't do it. Chat to people that can help you.
Yeah, that's so true. There's so many ways to get started with very little money. So, Heleen, this has been absolutely inspirational. Any final thought that you want to share? I think we're going to wrap up. We've always been at it for an hour, and I really appreciate the time. It was wonderful chatting to you. Any final thoughts before we go?
I just want to say, I want to just bless everybody and say, believe in yourself. If no one tells you that, maybe I've never met you, I haven't ever seen you, but coming from me, I believe in you. I know Christelle and Stefani definitely believes in you. Believe in your product. That will make you successful. If you don't have faith in what you do, you're going to battle. Believe in what you do. Believe in your abilities, because each and every one of us has some creativity on the inside that needs to come out. So surround yourself with like-minded people. You'll definitely have people on the line that will say, please, how are you going to make money? You just prove them wrong. It's not about the money. If you do what you love, the money will follow you. Just do what you love. Go into it. Have a good plan. The roadmap is a fantastic way of getting from point A to point B. I'm on the sideline also a life coach, but I don't get time to do that. So I coach myself every day and telling, keep your vision. Remember why you started out, and keep your goals there and your rewards. That was one of my favorites. Just having a reward chart there. If we did so many kids this week, I'll buy myself a coffee at Mug and Bean, or just treat yourself. So have those rewards. Go for what you believe in. Write it down and encourage yourself every day. Don't listen to the bad noise. There's enough of that out there.
Heleen, on that very high note, I think we're going to say goodbye to everyone. Thank you so much. It's been incredible, and thank you so much for taking the time to share your journey with us. It's always a pleasure to see you and to hear what you've been up to. And well done for managing your very busy week last week with over 250 people, or however many. That was a rough calculation, in all your classes and in all your workshops. Absolutely inspiring and so incredible.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to end this live, and I will have a quick chat with you afterwards.
Okay, cool.
Bye-bye, everyone.